on the road of recovery.
My name is Erik. I'm from Toledo, Ohio, and I got sober October 14th, 1994.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much for coming out and joining us on this beautiful hot summer day. If you could start off by sharing a bit about your childhood.
My childhood was adventurous. I grew up in an alcoholic home.
Okay.
So we moved around a whole lot. I think at last count, I went to 27 different schools between kindergarten and senior year of high school.
That is a lot.
Yeah, I spent most of my time collectively here in the Sylvania, outside of Toledo.
Okay.
But lived in 8 different states. I can't even tell you how many different apartment buildings and foster care and children's homes and all kinds of different places growing up. Family members, friends, lots of couches. And it was moments of stability in there, but for the most part, it was pretty adventurous.
Yeah. Are you an only child?
No, I have an older brother, younger sister.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when did you first start using alcohol or drugs, and what did it do for you?
Well, it was right up this creek.
Oh, yeah?
On the bridge right here
Yeah?
in Sylvania,
Okay.
about less than a quarter mile away from where we're sitting right now.
Right.
I think I was a freshman in high school, and it was before a football game, which is, again, the stadium's not too far from here. I remember it because, wow, what it did for me was absolutely miraculous. Any of the feelings of not belonging, any of the inhibitions, I could talk to girls, my buddies were my buddies. It did everything that I could possibly wanted to do for me right out of the gate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any consequences in high school at all?
Well, I was convicted of a felony, 4th degree breaking and entering, because I ran out of beer and we broke into a market at some wee hour of the morning. It was right in between my 17th and 18th birthday. It was the night of my
Oh my.
Yeah. So I was tried as an adult, 4th degree B&E, breaking and entering, and yeah, so I had to go before the judge, and fortunately I was able to get probation, which I did all that, restitution, all that kind of stuff. I was enlisted to go into the Army. I had nothing else to do after high school, so everybody else was going off to college, so I needed to figure out something. And the Army said, yeah, we don't want you. So, you're a felon, we're not going to take you. So that opportunity went away. Yeah, so, I mean, I could just, there is story after story after story after story about how alcohol got in the way of any kind of progression in my life. I spent probably the next 4 or 5 years going back and forth between Toledo and South Florida. My last stretch in Florida was smoking a lot, drinking a lot, and kind of the combination of the two took me to places in my mind that I hope to God I never go back to. So the precipitous, if you will, of me recognizing that I have a problem is, again, the bottom was, we're limited by language. We really can't describe the true horror and terror of a bottom unless you've lived it.
Right.
I can offer you all kinds of words about how shitty it was, but my thinking was completely out of control. I would have thoughts that I couldn't stop or get rid of. It's like I drove straight to hell and parked my car there. I was excreting some yellow stuff out of my body.
Wow.
I don't know what that was. Armpits, sweat. I mean, it was just like everywhere. Yeah, it was just, I was watching myself go insane and I couldn't do anything about it. And that was the really difficult thing. I mean, I had thought that I would have a chance in this world at anything, something, just to be normal, was like an aspiration for me. Have a line job at some factory and be able to put food on the table and maybe have a girlfriend, wife, kids. That was all like these like incredible dreams that I would dare to dream, and I knew none of that was going to be possible, and I was stuck in that reality, and that really sucked. You know, not just so much the things that I couldn't get, but the things I wasn't able to do. I remember towards my bottom, I would come to at noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the only thing I lived in a hotel on the beach in Fort Lauderdale. The only thing I could think of to do was go to the bar. That was it.
Yeah.
I had no other choices. I just couldn't wait to go get that pitcher of beer and spend all day hanging out on the porch of that bar. And I remember, you know, as I was growing up, because I was in a lot of bars growing up with my dad, I always remembered those old guys that were sitting alone at a bar, nursing their drinks, and they'd be there all day. I knew because I was there all day. My dad was the dude sitting on the bar.
Yep.
And I always thought, you know, well, that would suck.
Mm-hmm.
And I had kind of become that. So my last drink was I was at the normal bar that I normally go to, and I was working on my third or fourth pitch or something like that. And a friend of mine from like 5 years earlier in Fort Lauderdale had just gotten out of the military, came in to the bar, recognized me. We started chopping it up, and he's like, "Hey, let's go over to the Parrot. I'm going to meet these college girls that I met earlier in the day on the beach, and we're going to go have some fun." I'm like, "Dude, I got no money." And he's like, "That's okay, I'm buying." I'm like, "Well, then I'm going." So we went to this place called the Parrot in Fort Lauderdale, and we sat down, and we were sitting across from these two beautiful young, I was 26 at the time, two beautiful young college girls, and he was talking it up, and I had no game. I couldn't even really communicate at all, but I was ordering shots of Jägermeister. I was ordering I'm ordering food. I'm like just making a complete and total ass out of myself, and then nothing. I don't remember anything. I just came to the next morning or afternoon, and it was the first time I could ever remember having a blackout.
Okay.
And I had always set that line of I'm not an alcoholic because, you see, I hadn't had any DUIs. I hadn't ruined a family. I haven't done all those other horrible, nasty things that, you know, all the questions on those sheets. I could answer no to some of them.
Right.
Most of them. But the blackout thing was kind of like, that was a scary thing where you got absolutely no idea what you did. And so when I woke up, came to, my car was kind of sideways in the driveway. I was like, this is real. At this point, the fear of having to continue to live the way that I was living was now finally greater than the fear of the complete unknown, which means death,
Right.
which means recovery. So instead of living that way anymore, I decided I was going to try to do something different. And my choice is, am I going to live or am I going to die? And if I'm going to live, I can't live this way anymore. I just can't do it. It's too scary. Being controlled by fear is a horrible place to be, but that's where I was. So fear actually assisted me at my bottom,
Right.
to point me in, scared me enough to say, okay, I've got to do something about this. And since my dad was sober, I called him and I said, "Pops, I think I got an alcohol problem." And so he said, "Just get yourself back up to Toledo and we'll see what we can do." But there was a place up here called Compass,
Mm-hmm.
and Compass over in Collingwood. It was supported, I think, by the United Way, and they took in homeless people like myself. And when I was up in Compass, this kid came up there, and he was part of a local meeting, recovery process, and he was kind of telling my story about the crazy thinking, couldn't make it stop, all that kind of stuff. But he also suggested, he said, "You know what I do every day?" And I was like, "Okay, what?"
Right. Yes.
I pray in the morning and I ask God for help. And then at night I get back down on my knees and I thank God. And I'm like, well, that's kind of stupid. Why would it? Okay. Again, I was so afraid of going back to drinking that I was willing to try anything.
Yeah. That
And,
fear can be a powerful motivator.
oh yeah, very much so. Because, in all honesty, the first 6 months wasn't exactly a day in the park.
Yes. No, not at all.
It is a serious struggle with self to find the commitment to do the things that are being recommended. Not everybody that comes into recovery stays.
Nope.
Shocker, right? So it does take some willpower on our own to say no to ourselves and to try to push forward at least with an open mind and practicing that willingness. When you cut that cord and you leave that baggage behind you, the freedom of being okay with yourself, the freedom to present yourself to others in this world as an individual, not somebody you have to manipulate, connive, wheel, or deal with. You become yourself, and that's when you get to know yourself. And it's really quite remarkable to be able to do that. So there's the whole process of working the steps kind of gets you to a point where not only do you not have to drink again or drug again, whatever your choice is, or both, but man, you get to live a really cool life. Find out who you are, not have any baggage, deal with the truth and reality about yourself. You practice all kinds of different principles that put you in touch with a power greater than yourself. You're now connected with a source of strength, and anything in life is possible. Anything in life is possible. I'm sitting here as a person who's used to waking up in a puddle of piss, living as a nomad, a homeless person, out of hotel rooms. And I haven't had to piss the bed in over 30 years.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. So anything is possible. And that's what, the joy that you get out of working a recovery program is. So I was able to live on my own, which was an incredible blessing. Again, you're talking to a guy who went, and lived all over the place all the time. So having my own home, having my own place to live was a really big deal.
Yeah.
At about 1.5 years sober, I decided to go back to school. So I had ended up getting my diploma through a correspondence course. And I went to the University of Toledo, and I'm like, okay, I got a 1.7, but how about if I give you some money? And they're like, okay.
Give this a try.
Well, dude, I had to go to a Scott Park campus for a little while before I could get enough grades to be able to go to the main campus. But yeah, I ended up going to college, and I graduated. First one in my family, other than my mom, that graduated from college. And yeah, I started improving the job that I was doing. And my dad at the time was publishing magazines, and little local magazines at first, but he was in love with boating. So he had congested heart failure. So he had to have a heart transplant. So I was out doing distribution with him one day, and I said, Pops, why don't I buy your magazine from you, give you a bit of a retirement, and I can only pay for it out of the profits that I make because I got 14 cents. But you go and work on your health situation, and it worked out because he got a heart transplant, lasted 15 years on it. I bought a magazine that I've been continuing to publish for the last 24 years.
Wow.
So my entire career came as a result of that transaction. Now we have multiple magazines, digital agency, all kinds of cool stuff. Has enabled my family to do most incredible things that you can possibly imagine. Yeah, it all just kind of worked out. I think when you're sober, opportunities come to you that I would have never expected that I was going to be a magazine publisher. But that's what I'm doing. After I graduated, I took over the magazine. I bought a house, my first home, my home. That was an incredible, it was a $50,000 house, but that was incredible.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, I went on a trip to Cancun, and I did some diving. I got certified to dive. I had met my wife in Cancun, Mexico.
How wild is that?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. We did the long distance thing for a year. She moved up to Toledo to live with me. We ended up, her passion is travel. So between my passion for sailing, for scuba diving, for golfing, and her passion for travel, we've been all over the world. We have 6 continents down. We got 1 more to go.
Okay.
We have 3 daughters. They have also been on all 6 continents. Antarctica is still out there begging to be set foot on.
Absolutely. See the penguins.
Yeah. Do the polar plunge.
Yeah.
So those are all the benefits of life as a sober person. We have a home out here in Savannah. Our kids are growing up. Our youngest is a junior at a school here in Toledo. My eldest is going to the University of Toledo. My middle daughter is going down to Tampa University in Florida. We're having the time of our lives. Don't let me make you think that this is all butterflies and roses and puppies. I have challenges. I have a lot of responsibility, and I worry. And I have to turn to God to help take away some of these fears. And my sobriety has taught me that I can go through anything. I lost my mother in 2000 to cancer. If you're ever going to use an excuse, right? But that strengthened my relationship with God like I had never even imagined. I went through that prayer of St. Francis on an hourly basis and just remembered that I'm grateful. I guess if I were to say anything in closing, I would say everything has been okay. Everything is okay. And everything will be okay.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your very full life and sharing a real message of hope. You too.